Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video tonight I am going to be giving you my match reaction for the Club Brugge Manchester United game that's just ended. Club Brugge won, Manchester United won at the Jan Bradale Stadium in the Europa League last 32 first leg. Now the goals was from Emmanuel Dennis, who I thought had a really good game for Club Brugge. He scored the first goal for Club Brugge. It came from a set piece from the free kick from Simon Mignolet, fell to Emmanuel Dennis, currently chipped to Sergio Romero, and that was 1-0. And I think like 10 minutes just before half time, we currently equalised through Anthony Martial. That came from a mistake, I think, from a throw-in from Club Brugge, but it was a very, very good finish from Anthony Martial. Yeah, so very, very disappointed, but, on the positive, we have got that away goal, so, now we can take that into the second leg at Old Trafford, and I think the second leg is on the 27th of February at Old Trafford, but I still believe Manchester United, will progress. Analysing the game, though, I thought, it was a very, very, boring performance from Manchester United, for around 80 minutes. I think, we only looked really, really good, when Bruno Fernandes came on and Odion Ighalo came on. And that just proves, the difference that Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo do make in the team. I'm actually surprised that Odion Ighalo didn't start from the start, because Solskjaer said, it was very likely he was going to be starting the game. And, I did say, didn't I, in my preview, I didn't think, Bruno Fernandes would have started. I think also Fred did okay, when he came on. He's had a good couple of months for Manchester United. So they're the three substitutions that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer brought on in the game. Fernandes, Odion Ighalo and Fred. Also, his team selection was also very, very questionable. A lot of people are saying this, including Robin van Persie. Solskjaer, of course, did go, was it with a 3-4-2-1, was it? So he did stick with three at the back. Obviously, that formation seemed to have been working in the last couple of games for Manchester United, but obviously, didn't work out, this evening. Solskjaer had made 6 changes, by the way, from the 2-0 victory against Chelsea on Monday night. 6 changes were made. We saw Sergio Romero come into the team. Obviously, Romero tends to play in the cup games. We also saw Diego Dalot start. He was playing at right wing back, was Diego Dalot. Hasn't played too much this season. We also saw, Jesse Lingard play. He was absolutely, atrocious today, was Jesse Lingard. He was playing alongside Juan Mata. Also, Juan Mata, had come into the team. Also, Andres Pereira had come into the team. Yeah, Lindelof had come into the team. He didn't play against Chelsea, due to illness. So, they're the changes that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, did currently make. I think with 10 minutes to go, Solskjaer, did go with 4 at the back, even though he did start the game with 3 at the back. Manchester United, did have a lot of the possession in the game. We didn't really do much with it. In the first half, we looked all over the place, defensively. Club Brugge were causing us a lot of problems. They showed a lot of pace on the counter-attack. And, they did sit deep, did Club Brugge. They also defended really, really well. Sergio Romero had to make a couple of saves. Like I mentioned, Emmanuel Dennis looked very, very threatening for them. He had a couple of chances. Sergio Romero had saved them. Both teams did have chances in the second half. We had a couple of chances as well, but, a lot of them were wasted. Andres Pereira, I think, had 2 wasteful chances, what I saw on the highlights. Anthony Martial had also hit the post. Juan Mata, again, don't think he had too much of a brilliant game. I think he got given the ball, but he was in an offside position, was Juan Mata. So obviously, it was saved anywhere. But yeah, it wasn't the best game of football I've seen. Of course, we have obviously, still got injuries in that, like Solskjaer did confirm prior to the game, that, Rashford is touch and go to play again this season. Solskjaer confirmed that Rashford's going to be out for at least the next couple of months with this back injury. And, could be even out for the rest of the season and could even miss the Euros. Of course, Solskjaer did confirm prior to the game that Paul Pogba is not close to returning. So take that into account and that. But, revert back to what I said, his team selection, was definitely, questionable. Solskjaer did confirm that 19 did travel to Brugge. Obviously, 19 of them did travel. McTominay, I thought he'd have been playing McTominay, but wasn't. He's still currently injured. that McTominay is back in training. So too Tuanzebe was back in training, but he wasn't ready. Also got confirmed that Phil Jones is injured, and so too is Lee Grant. So that has currently been confirmed. And also too, like I said, Gomez, Chong and Garner, they were already in Belgium because I think they were playing a match for the under-19s, but they, wasn't, of course, included in the squad because, they'd already been in Belgium. So too, Connor Stanley, was also, training with the first team and that. But yeah, very, very disappointing. Very, very disappointing result and that. So now I'm going to go through with you who I think, who played all right for Manchester United. There wasn't an outstanding performer, let's be honest with you. I think the three at the back in the first half, were quite poor, made quite a lot of mistakes. And if it had been against a better team, this evening, I think probably, Manchester United would have lost. Reflect on the amount of mistakes we especially made in that first half. I don't think Shaw was too good tonight. Maguire wasn't too good tonight. I think he was very, very good in the Chelsea game. Scored his first Premier League goal in the game against Chelsea, but he wasn't too good tonight. I don't think Lindelof was good on his return either, I've got to be honest with you. I thought Andres Pereira had a really, really bad game. I don't think Matic was too good either. I don't think Matic was too good. Lingard wasn't too good. I thought Lingard was one of the worst players on the pitch, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. I think, the players that played well, I thought Fernandes made an impact when he came on. I thought Agallo made an impact when he also came on and that. And, why didn't Aldian Agallo start? That's what I can't understand. He didn't, start against Chelsea, when I thought he would have started against Chelsea. Obviously, hasn't started, he didn't start this evening. So that's questionable. That's something, you've got to question Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on. Of course, Solskjaer obviously, did rest quite a few key players because obviously, Watford is on the horizon. The Watford game is this Sunday. I think it's 2 o'clock kickoff at Old Trafford. Now, the key players he did rest. He rested obviously, Wan-Bissaka. I did say, didn't I, Wan-Bissaka, would have been rested this evening. Solskjaer, did praise Wan-Bissaka prior to the game. He's, delighted, with his attacking side of the game now because recently we've seen more of an attacking intent from Wan-Bissaka. But that's good. But defensively, he's also very, very good. He's Wan-Bissaka, of course. Daniel James didn't play tonight. Solskjaer did confirm that Daniel James, well, I knew he wouldn't have been playing anywhere because obviously Solskjaer has been overplaying Daniel James, so he, of course, wasn't playing tonight. So, yeah, he did rest quite a few key players in that. But, yeah, I thought we'd have beaten Club Brugge, to be quite honest with you. They're not so good in Europe, our Club Brugge, let's be honest. Like I mentioned, they are now winless in their last 11 matches against Premier League opposition, including, this game, this evening. I know that they're sitting top of the Belgian league. I think they're sitting 9 points clear at the top of the Belgian league. So realistically, it's looking like the Club Brugge are going to win it this season. They was unlucky not to win it last season because I think last season they finished just behind Genk. And like I said, we've beaten Club Brugge back in the 2015-16 Champions League playoffs. We beat them 7-1 on aggregate, 3-1 in the first match, and then, of course, 4-0 in the second match. And, Wayne Rooney had scored a hat-trick, definitely. But what I think, I can go quite through with you a lot, what I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got wrong. I think he was wrong for not starting Odion Ighalo, because Odion Ighalo should have started the game. He realistically should have started the game against Chelsea. Luke Shaw again was playing at centre-half. He shouldn't have been playing at centre-half. He was playing at centre-half, in the game against Chelsea. And like I said, Luke Shaw is not predominantly a centre-half. Luke Shaw is predominantly a left-back. I actually thought Luke Shaw would have been rested tonight, to be quite honest with you. So he did get that wrong. Maybe Eric Bailly should have kept his place in the team because, Eric Bailly put a fantastic display out, in his return to the Premier League against Chelsea on Monday. Very, very good he was. And that was his first appearance in the Premier League, since April of last year. So maybe, we should have given Eric Bailly a chance. This is maybe, what Manchester United should have done. And a lot of people do believe, a lot of United fans do believe, from their own perception, that, the three at the back doesn't seem to suit our standards. And, it hasn't worked out tonight. But if you analyse it prior to this evening, the games where we've gone with three at the back, we've had good results. Went with three at the back against Liverpool earlier on in the season, got a draw. Went with three at the back against Chelsea on Monday, got a 2-0 win. Went with 3 at the back in one of the, games against Partizan Belgrade in the group stage, won that game. But, it's very, very rare anywhere Manchester United go with 3 at the back. And even Solskjaer did confirm when he got asked to buy from Flex, Man United, very rarely, go with 3 at the back. So probably a lot of United fans now going into the game against Watford on Sunday will say Solskjaer needs to revert to the 4-2-3-1 or maybe should even go with a 4-3-3. Because if I'm right, I think Solskjaer went with a 4-3-3 a lot in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. But he is actually, playing some players out of position, and that, is very, very, worrying. Mason Greenwood, he would have been playing tonight, if he hadn't been absent from training yesterday morning, because, Mason Greenwood, tends to play in the cup games and that. But Mason Greenwood, of course, is out with illness, and this is why he was absent from training, and this is what, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had confirmed. Mason Greenwood, very, very good young player. I think he will become a success at Manchester United. He's on 10 senior goals this season in 20-odd first-team appearances, but yeah, he has been out with illness. And Solskjaer, again, has put Anthony Martial in that number 9 role, and I said, that's another thing he got wrong. He put Martial in number 9 this evening. He also put Martial in the number 9, against Chelsea. It's fair play to him, he scored twice in his last 2 games, to be fair. But like I said, we've got to revert Martial back to that left-hand side, or some people even say drop him completely. What Man United need to do is he's put Odion Ighalo in that number 9. And fair enough, he did, and obviously, he brought Martial off and brought Odion Ighalo on, but we shouldn't have started Martial in the number 9. Martial now is into his 5th season as a Manchester United player, and of course is, in the 4 previous seasons he's been, at Man United, obviously, of course, he's been operating on that left-hand side, because that's his predominant position. It's only been this season Martial has been operating in that number 9 role. It has only been this season. But Manchester United, don't forget, are still regarded as one of the favourites to win the Europa League. I think Inter Milan are actually the favourites to win the Europa League. And, we won the Europa League a couple of years ago under the Jose Mourinho, where, we beaten Ajax in the final by 2-0. But Manchester United have got to take the Europa League very, very serious, because it's one of our ambitions is the Europa League. We win the Europa League, we'll get automatic qualification for the Champions League, and plus we will get some silverware on the board. And we need to get Champions League football secured for next season anyway, so in that aspect we can generate money. The resources of the football club, will be better. So Manchester United do need Champions League football for next season, definitely. And Manchester United have got a busy period coming up. Like Solskjaer was saying prior to the Club Brugge game, we've got 7 games in 21 days. So he was talking about, Man United will be making a lot of rotations and that in the squad. So this is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had currently confirmed. So yeah, so that's your match reaction to the Club Brugge Man United game. I've just read some of the stats as well, by the way. There actually, was a lot of shots in the game. I think, we had a good 16 shots. Brugge had a good 10 shots. I think we had around, 4 shots on target, only scored 1. Club Brugge had 2 shots on target, only scored 1. But, I thought the game lacked quality, like I mentioned, there was a lot of chances in the second half, but no team could convert the winner. But I do believe in the game at Old Trafford, it will be a total comparison game to the one this evening. I think in the game at Old Trafford, Solskjaer will probably start Odion Ighalo, he'll probably start Bruno Fernandes, he'll probably start Fred and that, just to make sure, we can progress into the last 16 of the competition. But, Club Brugge are a very, very poor team and that. And like I said, it was a very, very good result against Chelsea, on Monday night, but I wasn't getting too overconfident, but I was very, very, happy with the result and that, Bruno Fernandes hit the post, he could have scored, he got the assist from Maguire's second, Martial also scored the first goal. It wasn't the best of performances at Chelsea, but we still got the win. Of course, Maguire was Maguire was lucky to be on the pitch. Chelsea had 2 disallowed goals, so that was controversy. But like I said, one result, doesn't change my perception of the club and regarding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I say we've got to build some momentum and we've got to go on a good winning run. The positive is, we are still in that top 4 race now because we're only 3 points behind Chelsea. And there's quite a few teams in that top 4 race, but 5th place is a Champions League spot now, reflecting on Manchester City's ban from the Champions League for the next 2 seasons. you know. But it seems to be like one step forward, two steps back. You know, we'll have one good result or we'll have a good couple of results, and then, you know, we'll start going on a bad run of form again. So we need to, you know, we need to get a result against Watford on Sunday, you know, to obviously, you know, keep our top four ambitions alive. And be interesting again to see how Solskjaer approaches the game against Watford on Sunday. You know, obviously he's going to make, you know, quite a few changes, you know, from, you know, this evening's game. But, you know, we will see what currently happens. And also the FA Cup is a priority for Manchester United, you know, because we're into the 5th round. And I'd love Manchester United, of course, to win the FA Cup. But, yeah. So, like I said, I think Manchester United definitely need to get rid of players in the summer. And I'm going to go through the list of players now who I think Manchester United, you know, should get rid of. Now, Pereira, he's a liability, definitely. He isn't good enough for Manchester United. Pereira, not good enough to represent the football club. You know, his finishing's poor. You know, his passing's poor. I've just got so many element of concerns about him. Definitely Jesse Lingard needs to leave the football club because he's not good enough, Jesse Lingard. He's not good enough. Whether he's playing in number 10 or whether he's playing on the right, we just can't seem to get the best out of him. Jesse Lingard has been at Manchester United for several years. He's been here several years. I think up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with the club. And reflecting on how long he's been here, he should be putting much more better performances out. Look, last season he didn't register one goal or one single assisted, Jesse Lingard, in the Premier League. And that just indicates how bad of a player he is. I think he's got around 16, 17 months left now on his current contract with Man United. Man United do have an option to extend it by a further year. I said another mistake Solskjaer made. Jesse Lingard shouldn't have been selected tonight. Realistically, I don't think Pereira should have been selected either, so that's also another mistake. So he made quite a few mistakes, Solskjaer, this evening. Phil Jones, he's injured, like I mentioned. He needs to be moved on because, one, he isn't good enough for Man United anymore. He has been a long servant and doesn't really get in the team. Matic needs to be moved on. You know, he wasn't so bad against Chelsea on Monday. He had a great game in the game against City in the second leg of the Carabao Cup until obviously he got sent off and then got suspended. But I just think Matic is too slow, too easily predictable. We'll probably lose him on a free transfer at the end of the season because that's when his contract expires. Less Man United, Man United can get him, a new contract. And Nemanja Matic, we open negotiations over getting him a new contract. He's another one that needs to go. Possibly Luke Shaw needs to be moved on. Luke Shaw is struggling for that consistency. He's very injury prone. Brandon Williams is our first choice, but Brandon Williams is inexperienced, so Solskjaer may go with Luke Shaw on the experience. Martial, he was in a bad vein of form. He's scored in his last two games, to be fair, so he has rejuvenated himself a bit. His performances have still not been brilliant though, even though he scored in his last two games. But I just think what Solskjaer needs to do is he's reverting back to the left-hand side. Obviously, Martial, like I said, has been a long-serving player here. But yeah, so I think we need to get rid of around 4, 5, maybe 6 players in the summer. But on the other hand, these 2 players I would be determined to keep at the club. Keep Rashford, keep McTominay, because I thought before he got injured he was doing really, really well. I'd keep Fred because he's had a good couple of months for the football club. Didn't look so bad when he came on this evening. Keep Lindelof, even though he wasn't great tonight. Keep Lindelof. I probably would keep Bay, despite the fact that Eric Bay is injury prone. I would still keep him because, Bay can play really, really well for us. Obviously, keep the 3 signings that were recommended in last summer. And, so yeah, these players, I would be determined to keep at Manchester United, definitely. Keep Greenwood as well, keep Brandon Williams, keep Garner. I'd get rid of Chon, he's another one I'd get rid of. I forgot to mention him earlier on. Would you get rid of Gomez? I thought, Gomez could have been involved. The vast majority of Gomez's performances this season have come in the Europa League. But like I said, he was already in Belgium, so he didn't travel with the rest of the Manchester United team and that. But my perception on Solskjaer is not the right manager for Manchester United. And I said this, after the Chelsea game. The only positive we can take since Solskjaer became Manchester United manager is that, his record against Chelsea is very, very good, because he's beaten Chelsea 4 times as a manager and he has beaten Frank Lampard 3 times. But prior to that, his record at Manchester United has been disastrous. We are enjoying our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years. Yes, we are in that. And Solskjaer's been under intense pressure this season at the club. I was reading reports the other week, and it did say, if Manchester United, fail to finish within the top six this season and we don't get any European football, then Solskjaer will be sacked as Manchester United manager. Now, some people believe even if Man United were to meet these expectations and get that Champions League or any European football and finish within the top six, they still believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be sacked as Manchester United manager. This is his first full season now at the football club. He's got 2.5 or is it 2 years left on his current contract. I can't see him seeing out the remainder of his contract. I'm very sceptical about that. I can't see that happening. But he's been here now over the year. So I feel as though, from my own perception, he's had long enough at the football club. I know, it took, Jurgen Klopp, a long time, to get him to a level like he's at now. Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years when he came to Man United, but Solskjaer won't emulate into the next Ferguson. He won't emulate into the next Jurgen Klopp. I can definitely assure that with you guys now. And Manchester United have made a lot of mistakes in the last 6 or 7 years, and that's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. That's why we've been so inconsistent in the last 6 or 7 years, because we've made a lot of mistakes. It's not the only explanation, but it's the main explanation. I think the mistakes we've made, we shouldn't have got rid of Ander Herrera last summer. We shouldn't have got rid of Romelu Lukaku, even though we did generate a substantial amount for his departure. We shouldn't have given Solskjaer the job on a permanent basis. The main explanation why we're giving the job permanently is reflecting on what he did when he was the interim manager, because he did really, really well in that 3-month period. I also feel as though that we shouldn't have... I also feel as though that, we should have recommended Jose Mourinho in at an earlier point. We should have got him in after Alex Ferguson retired, but instead Ferguson recommended David Moyes in. That's one mistake, and the only mistake Alex Ferguson made. I think we made a mistake by not recommending a director of football in last summer, because I did say that's one of the structural changes that we need at the football club is a director of football. And then if we'd have got a director of football in, then, Ed Woodward would have moved away from the footballing decisions. So that's what else Manchester United should have done. And I think, over the years, we have recruited some pretty decent players. We've also recruited, recruited the wrong players as well. And as like I mentioned, there's players over the years Man United got rid of, that we shouldn't, realistically got rid of. And that's how it is. And I don't think there's only a change of management needed at Manchester United. There's various issues at the football club, and we need someone to come in to change the cultural problems at the club. And yes, we need a change of management, we need a change of owner, because we've got a lot of doubts about the club's ownership. The Glazers have been here since 2005. They've been generating loads of money out of this club. Also, Ed Woodward, he needs to go. Ed Woodward come out and said, he's determined to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this summer with more signings, because don't forget the other week he wrote that fans forum. But, I've got doubts about, Ed Woodward, and he's been here since 2012. And I'm very, very sceptical about the board. Some people believe in their own perceptions that making changes, persistently isn't always the right solution. And, we have made changes, obviously, in the last 6-7 years, because Manchester United have sacked 3 managers, so we've changed managers. Moyes went, Van Gaal went, Jose Mourinho went, and now Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. And, Manchester United anywhere, generally, not really known for a sacking football club. A lot of money's been spent at Manchester United. Around £1 billion has been spent, or nearly £1 billion on recruiting new players in. And this is disregarding what was spent under Alex Ferguson. But Ferguson, did develop a lot of young players. And, we spent over £200 million since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended in. Over £200 million has been spent. I think Solskjaer has spent around £220 million at the club. He's recommended 5 players in, bought 3 in last summer, and he brought 2 in the January transfer window. But maybe we are still determined to give Solskjaer at least one more window to see who else he can recommend in to the football club. I was reading reports the other day, and it did say he's going to get around £274 million to spend this summer on bringing more players in. And he wants to bring around 3 to 5 players in the summer. And I've already gone through with you, with the transfers and that, Man United are in for the likes of Jadon Sancho, Jack Grealish, James Maddison. And if we were to get that trio in the summer, they'd probably cost us just under £300 million. Sancho's going to cost you minimum 100, because this is what Dortmund want. And Grealish and Maddison will probably cost around 160 for both of them, maybe even a bit more. But looking at it, they would dramatically improve Manchester United. But there is a lot of players on our agenda. So yeah, like I said, we're making plans for the summer, because there is still deficiencies in the squad that do need to be addressed at Manchester United. So yeah. But whatever players we bring in still doesn't change my perception regarding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We need European football as well to attract players to the elite level. This is what Manchester United need to do. But Solskjaer did actually reveal that he wanted to bring 4 signings in the January transfer window, but obviously didn't happen. Obviously, didn't currently happen in that. But I will delve into some of the players Man United are in for, on one of my next videos that I do currently do. Currently doing that. But yeah, like I said, revert back to what I said, a variety of changes are needed at the football club. Definitely a variety of changes are needed. And I've given you the news about Paul Pogba. He's definitely as well going in the summer. He's already told his Manchester United teammates that he's going in the summer. Paul Pogba probably will go to Juventus. He'll probably reunite with them, because Pogba did enjoy 4 good years in Turin. Pogba, before he leaves in the summer, may not even play for Manchester United again, as Solskjaer's confirmed, because he isn't now close to returning from injury. The stories were a comparison not too long ago, because it said he was stepping up his fitness regime. I think it's over a month now since he had the surgery on his ankle, Pogba. But, we can afford to let Pogba go, because we'll generate a lot of money for him. It'll also free up our wage bill a little bit. And plus, if we can get Grealish in and Maddison, then we can afford to let Paul Pogba go, definitely. Real Madrid only value him at 50 million. So that's 3 times less than what we want for him, because we want 150 million. And that 50 million is £39 million less than what we paid for him, because we paid 89 million for him, and he is our most expensive signing. Now, Pogba is into the final year of his contract at Man United. Of course, his agent, Mini Raiola, has been talking. He said he was set to have negotiations with Pogba. This is what it said. And, not negotiations with Pogba, sorry, negotiations with Solskjaer, because I don't think he's got a dispute with Solskjaer. Even though, he's been coming out saying that Pogba's not Solskjaer's player, and he's not mine, and, he's not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's property and stuff like this, and he's convinced he'll go, he'll leave in the summer if Man United don't qualify for the Champions League. So this is what his agent Mini Raiola has been coming out and saying. Gary Neville, I think Solskjaer as well, and Manchester United in general have been, critical, of, Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola. But yeah, he's definitely going in the summer, is Paul Pogba. I hope for him to play before he does leave, to be quite honest with you. He's only played 8 games this season. His appearances have been limited due to the injuries he's had. He hasn't played since Boxing Day, like Scott McTominay. I think McTominay could also be back for Sunday against Watford. Hopefully he is. Solskjaer will provide us there with some team news, building up to that game. I think our next manager will either be Massimiliano Allegri or Pochettino if Solskjaer is sacked. I think Allegri is actually emerged as the favourite, because Pochettino could possibly take over at Manchester City. There's a possible chance, but we will see what happens. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.